A very good morning to all my students. I welcome to all of you to this session of refrigeration and air conditioning. Dear students, myself Dhiraj Mondal, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, JIS College of Engineering, Kollani, West Bengal. Today we are going to discuss about the psychrometry and air conditioning process part 2. Last class I have discussed is a little bit terminology of psychrometry. What is psychrometry? That properties of psychometry was discussed. So psychometric part here, in you have seen that the definition of psychometry, it is the science dealing with the physical laws of air water vapor mixture. Okay, or you can see that say that psychometry is the study of moist air or mixture in dry air and water vapor. So this is the definition of psychometry, and by the help of this we can determine the relative humidity, specific humidity, okay, dry bulb temperature, wet bulb temperature, and all this by the help of the psychometric chart. And it is basically used for forecasting weather and what is the condition of the climate and all this. It can be discussed by the help of this psychometry. Now the properties of psychometry, here the dew point temperature, relative humidity. You know that the dew point temperature, the temperature at which the moisture starts to condense out of the air, is known as dew point. Okay, and it is also known as saturation temperature. Okay, the dew point temperature is determined by moving from a state point horizontally to the left along lines of constant humidity ratio until the upper curved saturation temperature boundary is reached. Okay, so in the psychometric chart, the curved boundary, the ultimate left portion, so that is the dew point, the curve of the dew point, and it is basically this dew point temperature. It is the definition of dew point temperature already you have seen. In other word, you can see the dew point temperature is the temperature to which the it is the temperature to which air must be cooled at constant pressure in order to cause condensation of any of its water vapor, and it is equal to the steam in the steam table, equal to steam table saturation temperature corresponding to the actual partial pressure of water in the air. Okay, so in the psychometric chart you already have seen. I will tell you the dew point temperature. The condensation occurs at the dew point temperature. Okay, so this type of things you have seen in very early morning. Okay, so this is due to because of the dew point temperature. Okay, and it is basically air is cooled at constant pressure. Okay, after that we have to discuss the relative humidity, which is the relative humidity is the ratio of partial pressure of water vapor in the mixture to the saturated partial pressure at the dry bulb temperature, and it is expressed in percentage. Okay, here it is told that 50% of relative humidity, you can see, and 100% relative humidity saturated. That means if 100 kg of air as there, dry air are there, and there is 40%, 40 kg of moisture, then you can say the relative humidity is 40%. Okay, so the amount of moisture that a given amount of air is holding by amount of moisture that a given amount of air can hold. Okay, so this is all about the relative humidity. Okay, next is your humidity ratio. The humidity ratio, the mathematical expression, you can see m by g. Actual weight of water in an air water mixture by amount of moist air per unit of dry air. Okay, that is the humidity ratio. And dry bulb temperature, it is discussed also. A registered ordinary thermometer, in ordinary thermometer the temperature registered is called your dry bulb temperature. That means the atmospheric temperature in the dry air. Okay. After that, we have discussed the wet bulb temperature, and it is what? The wet bulb temperature is the temperature recorded by thermometer when the bulb is enveloped by cotton wick saturated with water. Okay, at that time it is called your wet bulb temperature. Next is your, in the thermometer you can see, and humidity also I have discussed that specific humidity is the is defined as the proportion of the mass of water vapor per unit mass of moist air sample. Okay, now let us discuss about the psychometric ratio also discussed. It is the ratio of heat transfer coefficient to the product of mass transfer coefficient and humid heat at a weighted surface, and it is denoted by SCY KYCS. Okay, now let us discuss about the psychometric process. Very important exam point of view. For exam point of view, in the psychometric process, first of all you need to know what is sensible heating. Before this discussion, one more thing we need to discuss, that is your degree of saturation. So degree of saturation is the mass of water vapor associated with unit mass of dry air by mass of water vapor associated with unit mass of dry saturated air. So capital W by WS. Okay. Okay. So this WS is the specific humidity of air when air is fully saturated. Okay, now let us discuss about the sensible heating. What do you mean by sensible heating? The sensible heating, it can be described as the when when the air passes over a dry surface which is at a temperature greater than its dry bulb temperature, it undergoes sensible heating. Okay, so thus the latent heat can be achieved by passing the air over heating coil like electric resistance heating coil or steam coil. Okay, so first let us consider M1 is the M amount of mass is entering into the system. Now temperature is T1 at that time and enthalpy is your H1. So the Q amount of heat is added. The Q amount of heat is added into the system. So when air passes over a dry surface which is at constant, which is at a temperature greater than its dry bulb temperature, okay, it undergoes sensible heating. Okay, so this because of this Q amount of heat, as the it is the that means the addition of Q amount of heat you can see, and as a result we will see that the temperature is raised. Okay, so it is the addition of heat in moist air without the addition of moisture, and it follows the constant humidity. Okay, so the so the by the help of this sensible heating we can find out the bypass factor. Okay, so here basically it is the addition of heat to moist air without the addition of moisture, and it follows constant humidity ratio line, and you can see in this figure that Q amount of heat is added into the into the air. Okay, so dry in that means your because of this you will see that T2 amount of temperature and enthalpy T2 H2 you have got. Okay, so by the help of some heating coil this phenomena can be done. Now that during this process during such a process the specific humidity remains constant, but the dry bulb temperature rises and approaches that the surface the extent to which it approaches at mean effective surface temperature of the cooling of the coil is conveniently expressed in terms of the equivalent bypass factor. Now, what is bypass factor? Bypass factor for the process is defined as the ratio of difference between the mean surface temperature of the coil and leaving air temperature to the difference between the mean surface temperature and the entering air temperature. Okay, so mathematically the bypass factor is equal to, if this you can see here, the bypass factor is equal to the q amount mcp delta t amount of heat is given. Now let us consider from 1 to 2, the process is going on from 1 to 2, and the heating coil, the temperature is your 3 T3. Okay, so T1 to T3 to T2. Okay, so what happened? T1 temperature is the air is entering with temperature T1, and some heating medium or some heating coil is there, and that is why T3 amount of temperature is adopted here. So the T3 amount of temperature is here, and T at the air out, it is the temperature T2. Now the bypass factor is expressed as it is T3, dry bulb temperature T3 minus T2 by T3 minus T1. So the bypass factor, we have seen that it is the T3, that is your heating medium temperature or coil temperature, minus T2 or the dry bulb temperature at the point section 2 in this section, by T3, again this temperature T3 minus TB1, that is your dry bulb temperature at section 1. So this is the bypass factor, and this bypass factor for the process is basically defined as the ratio of difference between the mean surface temperature of the coil and leaving temperature to the difference between mean surface temperature and the entering air temperature. Okay, so in this figure you can see, in this figure it can be describe the bypass factor. Thus the figure, the air at temperature T1 or TB1 and passes over a heating coil with an average surface temperature and leaving that temperature at T2. Okay, so the psychometric chart, it is shown here. So T1 to T2 it is placing, and we can see the enthalpy is changing, the enthalpy is increasing, and where the specific that means your specific humidity, it is your the W, you can see it is remain unchanged here. Okay, so this is all about the sensible heating. I hope it is clear. The W is what? W is the say your specific humidity, and this specific humidity is defined as the mass of the water vapor by mass of dry air. So mv by ma is the specific humidity. Okay, and specific humidity, the another relationship you need to know, that is your 0.622 pv, that is your partial pressure of water vapor, by pt, that is your total pressure by partial pressure of water minus partial pressure. So PV by PT minus PV. So that is the specific humidity. And this specific humidity also, it can be written as specific volume of air by specific volume of vapor. Okay, and when you are solving some numerical, this specific humidity, it is needed, the formula it is needed, mv by ma, remember, or va by vv. Okay, so mass of water vapor by mass of dry air, that is the specific humidity, or 0.622 pv by pt minus pv, where pt is what? Total pressure. Okay, so here the your and PVS, another one for relative humidity. How we can calculate PV, partial pressure of vapor by water vapor by the partial pressure of saturated water vapor. So PV by PVS is the ratio. This ratio is called your relative humidity. Okay, so and sensible heating, the formula of sensible heating is Q is equal to mCp delta T, mass flow rate into Cp, your specific heat at constant pressure, and delta T is the temperature difference. So in the dry bulb temperature, in the graph you can see the T1, the graph is basically T1 to T2. The line is moving from 1 to 2 point, and specific humidities remain unchanged, but the enthalpy is increased, and the in case of dry bulb temperature, the temperature also increased. So and after that we can say that the sensible heating was just one kind of heating process or heat addition process, where heat addition process by the help of the a cooling heating coil. Okay, so this is all about the sensible heating. Now let us talk about the sensible cooling. So sensible cooling, whenever the air is made to pass over a surface or through a spray of water that is at a temperature less than the dew point temperature of the air, the condensation of some of the water vapor in the air will occur simultaneously with the sensible cooling process, and the it is the remove basically the process of removal of heat from moist air without the removal of moisture, and it also follows a constant specific your specific humidity, that is constant W on the psychometric chart. So in case of, it can be asked that in case of sensible heating and sensible cooling, which parameter remain unchanged, that is your W. Okay, so that is the W. So I hope it is clear, because in the psychometric chart, again the psychometric chart you can see cooling and heating. In case of sensible cooling and in case of sensible heating, the specific humidity remain unchanged. From this diagram we can easily say. Okay, now the sensible heating is basically what I have told you, the removal of the heat from moist air and air without the removal of moisture, and it also follows a constant W, that is your specific humidity on the psychometric chart. Now what happened here in the process, in this portion, in this figure, the point 1 to point 2, if I am describing, then mass m amount of mass is entering into the system, where the temperature is registered T1 and enthalpy is H1. Now the when it is entering, then some Q amount of heat is extracted from the system. Now at the outlet, what we are getting, at the outlet we are getting some temperature T2 and enthalpy H2. Now if it is now if I want to calculate the bypass factor, same phenomena, same thing. So the bypass factor here, basically the difference between the, so here T1 T2 it is fixed, and the coil temperature or cooling coil temperature is your T3, let us consider. Now the difference between the outlet temperature by minus the mean temperature of the cooling coil, and the by difference between the inlet temperature by minus mean temperature of the cooling coil. So bypass factor T2 minus T3. Let us consider this point is your T3. Okay. So T3 minus your T2 minus T3 by T1 minus T3. Yes, as we know that the temperature in the section 3, or where the cooling coil is placed, that temperature remains will be minimum temperature. That is why the difference we have to take T2 minus T3 by T1 minus T3. Okay, so So here, in case of the cooling, in case of the sensible heating and cooling process, what happened? In case of sensible cooling, the temperature is minimizing, or temperature is is reducing, but in case of sensible heating, the temperature is increasing order. Okay, so sensible heating and cooling, the heating and cooling process addition of or removal of sensible heat without change in absolute moisture content, and the relative humidity changes as temperature changing. Okay, this is the relative humidity line is this one is the relative humidity line. So you know that if the heat is increased or heat is decreased inside the on a particular piece of mass, okay, piece of air, so at that time the relative humidity will increase, but remember specific humidity will not be in increasing order. Okay, so this is all about the sensible cooling process. And next is your cooling and dehumidification. Cooling and dehumidification, what is the phenomena, what is the process, what is how it is working. So let us discuss. So it is the removal of heat and moisture from the moist air, and it involves sensible and latent heat transfer. Okay, so very important here, this type of question may ask in the in this diagram. Also you can see the T1 and H1 is the temperature and enthalpy of of that particular given mass. It is given, and now the if it is entering into the system, what we are doing, we are minimizing the temperature, or temperature is cooling down, and dehumidification is taken place. That means we are extracting the moist air from the system. Okay, so if I'm extracting the moist air and if I'm extracting some temperature, then what will happen at the outlet of the system, and then that means when it is coming out, you will see that the temperature is T2, which is it is reduced, and enthalpy is your H2. Okay, so same at the same time we are cooling down the process. Okay, so the whenever the air is made to pass over a surface or through a spray of water that is at the temperature less than the dew point temperature of the air, the condensation of some of the water vapor in air will occur simultaneously with the sensible cooling process. Any air that comes into sufficient contact with the cooling surface will be reduced in temperature to the mean surface temperature along a path such as that means 1 2 3, this path you have to consider. And with condensation and therefore dehumidification occurring between the point 2 to 3. Okay, the air that does not come in contact with the surface will be finally cooled by mixing with the portion of that does the, and the final state point will be somewhere on the straight line connecting the point 1 and 3. The actual path of the air during the path during actual path of the air during the path will be straight line. In the figure shown here, you can see the path is it is shown straight, it is shown your straight line. Here dehumidification is done. You can see the in the psychrometric chart the dew point temperature is shown, and dehumidification is basically dehumidification cooling. In the cooling coil, temperature of air reduces and the saturation point, that is your dew point, is reached. Further cooling result in reduction of the absolute humidity. Okay, so what we are doing, First of all, we are minimizing, that means we are minimizing the temperature, and up to what, up to the dew point temperature. Okay, so first of all, we are cooling process is done by removing the sensible heat. Then when it is reaching the dew point temperature, or that line, that point, dew point temperature line or point, so after that I am just extracting the moisture from the air. So what happened, the dehumidification, it is not humid, that means the dehumidification is done, reverse of the humidification. Okay, so what happened at the outlet, at last we have seen that low temperature and low water particle, that means your moisture content is minimized, and also the temperature is also minimized. So this process is basically needed when in the rainy season, in air conditioning purpose, if you want to get some comfortable weather condition, then the then you not only the temperature, you have to minimize the temperature as well as the moisture content, because if you are in decreasing the temperature but the moisture content is oversaturated or maximum, in a maximum value, then the particular a particular a person, he or she cannot make himself or herself comfortable, because of the moist air there will be some uncomfortable situation. So that is why this cooling as well as dehumidification process could have been done to get a better weather condition, or better your comfortable zone, to get better comfortable zone. This process is needed. Okay, so the cooling and dehumidification here, the again we can say that the apparatus dew point. Okay, so for the process involving condensation, the effective surface temperature, here basically what happened in this figure, you can see the from this point to this point, the particular body is the particular graph is drawn. But if I am drawing a straight line, then what happened, from this point to this point I can draw a straight line. Okay, and the enthalpy of this in this all this point, it will be changed. Okay, so different enthalpy we can get. Okay, so the total heat removed from the air is given, what we can say, that is the total heat is equal to H1 minus H4. Okay, that means if this point is your 1, if this point is your 2, if this point is your 3. Okay, so and this point is your 4. So what happened, the total heat is equal to what, latent heat plus sensible heat, isn't it? So this is your sensible heat. Sensible heat is extracted first of all, and after that latent heat is extracted. So the total heat is equal to the summation of sensible heat and latent heat, and the ratio of sensible heat to total heat is called sensible heat factor. Okay, so what do you mean by sensible heat factor? The ratio of sensible heat to total heat is called sensible heat factor, or it is also called sensible heat ratio. So sensible heat ratio is equal to sensible heat by sensible heat plus latent heat. Is very important for your exam point of view, for MCQ question. And the capacity in ton, and that means your mass your what is the capacity of the of this particular system, it is equal to mass flow rate enthalpy difference H1 minus H4 whatever into 60 by 14,000. Okay, so this is all about the cooling and dehumidification. I hope it is clear. Now the next class we will be discussing the cooling, heating and humidification, cooling and dehumidification, heating and dehumidification, heating and humidification, and all this it will be discussed in the upcoming classes. So today up to this, thank you for listening. Jai Hind.